The Fort Lauderdale Eldercare channel is brought to you by Sidney Shigani and the great folks with Right at Home of Broward County. Today's guest is Scott Seachek, Marketing Director for First Health Systems, where health comes first.
Welcome to the Fort Lauderdale Eldercare channel. My name is Sidney Shigani. I'm your host. Today we have Scott Seachek from First Health Systems. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I mispronounced that. It's Scott Seachek.
Yes.
I look forward to our discussion today to help our viewers get a better understanding of how they can avail of the services of a skilled home health agency. How long has your agency been in business, Scott?
We've been in business 16 years.
Please define for our audience the market area served by your agency.
We're covered Broward County corner to corner.
Can you tell us about your typical client? Is there a profile for them, Scott?
Yes, our typical client has a disease process. They're either disabled or elderly, and they are in need of some type of assistance with their daily living, or they need some type of assistance with their diabetics or their pulmonary disease or whatever disease process is going on that they need monitored to report to the doctors.
Okay. Scott, could you please offer our viewers a detailed and specific example of a case in which your agency went above and beyond to help meet the care needs of a patient or their family?
Sure. We had a gentleman who was a client of ours, a patient, and he was a hoarder. Our nurse brought it to our attention. We drove out to his home and surveyed the home and realized that it was very bad living conditions for him and very bad for his neighbors as well, because it was in a condo type setting. The place was so bad that you couldn't walk inside, barely 2 feet inside the door. We contacted the city in which he lived, and the city was very gracious. They sent out a dumpster, and we had some volunteers from our company and outside of our company go out there, and we had like 8 volunteers to load the dumpster, go through all of his things. The ones that were bad, they went into the dumpster. The good ones they put aside and they put up for sale. He was able to sell his condo and get into an assisted facility where he could get some full-time help that he much needed to get a better quality of life. So that's one of the instances that we've done, but there's so many of those that I can talk about over the last years.
I'm sure you go through your fair share. And that's very nice of you and your staff to volunteer your time and reach out. The city helped out too. That's
it was very good, yes, but you got to give to receive, so you got to give back into the community. And we've been blessed to be where we are and do what we do, so we feel that we need to give back when we can and where we can.
Yes, indeed. Can you give us some detailed specifics about your services?
Sure. We are a high-tech agency, which means we have a IV certified, a chemo certified, wound vac certified, which is a high-tech machine used for wound care nurses, and they are well trained on what they do. We do also physical therapy, occupational therapy. Our physical therapists and our nurses are trained in lymphedema wrapping. We do offer speech therapy as well. We also have respiratory therapy, which is unique because most agencies will not support a respiratory therapist because it's not covered under the Medicare and most insurances. So also we do also CNAs on a limited basis, very limited basis. We only come in 2 days to 3 days a week to provide a bath and maybe some light meal prep and cleaning and making sure the fall prevention, that there's nothing in the hallways. They do light house cleaning. So those are our services that we do provide.
The respiratory therapist, do you actually do that yourself? I mean, on your own, even if Medicare doesn't provide it?
Always. They never provide for it. Yeah, we provide it because it's needed. If the patient has COPD or any kind of pulmonary disease or chronic bronchitis and they have breathing issues, they're gonna need it. If they have a trach, they're gonna need their trach cleaned. The respiratory therapist is the one trained in doing that. We have to do the right thing, even though we're not getting reimbursed. In the end, it'll come back. Again, just like giving to the community, you have to give to the patient too, and not always worry about reimbursement.
You're a good man, Scott.
Well, we try.
Hey, Scott, I'm curious, is there anything else you can tell our audience that your agency does differently compared to others?
Well, there is one thing that differentiates us from all the other agencies, and I think that's what the feedback I get from our clients is that as the owners, we're available to our clients. We make our phone numbers, our cell phones available to them. If the daughter or the son is in California or New York, they have our numbers. They can text us, call us, or email us anytime, and we'll respond. I think that's the biggest differentiating factor, because we can help solve a problem quicker, and they know they can get to us. There's no ivory tower syndrome where the owners are inaccessible and you got to deal with some lower level management. So we're right on top of whatever the issue is that they need solved, and I think that's what differentiates us the most.
And I'm sure your patients and families definitely appreciate that, being, having you on call, right there on their phones.
Yes, I think that's definitely a plus, and it's what keeps them coming back, because we build that relationship and that bond with the son, the daughter, and the patient. So now we become an integral part of their family. Absolutely. And they rely on us, because they're not here to help do something. They say, can you go look in on my mother? I haven't seen her and heard from her. Can you go check it out and see if she's okay? Even if they're not on service with us at that time. Hey, my mom's been discharged, but I called 3 times and I can't get her. Can you go out and have a nurse drop by? And we do those kinds of things. We call them drive-bys.
That's definitely going above and beyond.
Well,
that's very good.
That's what we do.
Well, Scott, I have one last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you would like to tell our audience about how they can reach you, where you can be reached, anything else at all?
Sure. We have a website. It's First Health Home Care, and it gives you all the information of all the services we just talked about, plus much, much more. We also offer community services. We offer concierge doctors. We help with transportation. We're located in Davie, Florida, and our phone number is 954-641-9440. That's our main line to the office.
Wonderful. This is Sidney Chigani, your host on the Fort Lauderdale Eldercare channel, and we're so glad to have Mr. Scott Seachak here today.
Thank you very much.
From First Health Systems. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
See you next time.